Wuthering Waves, the new hit record-breaking game made by Kuro Games. An anime, alright, straight to the point. You can technically beat Wuthering Waves just by using Rover only, if you are skilled enough anyway. But that is not the point of this challenge, that I myself just created. For this challenge, I will try my hardest to solo everything in the game just by using Rover. So that includes all the story, endgames, and all the challenges. But the point is to have fun. I know Musashi already did 2 episodes of the Solo Rover challenge, but I am planning to complete everything until the news update, and I'm also going to be using completely different strategies, and I promise the strategies that I'm using are going to be interesting. And for new players and those who haven't played the game yet, this video can be a motivation for you guys to maybe play the game. And for veterans, maybe you guys can relive the story again because I'm playing it from the beginning. And also, if it's not obvious enough, this video will contain story spoilers. And anyway, without further ado, let's start the challenge. Damn, it's been a while since it's not even been a while, it's been like 2 years since I last time saw this opening. A lot of people said that she looks like Lucia, but she doesn't even come close to Lucia. She doesn't even look the same. Especially now that Crimson Weave is in the game. Wait, did I just hear some Morse code in the background? Anyway, after holding hands with Lucia, Rover is thrown away through a black hole and finds herself in Huanglong, Jinzhou. I have arrived at China. Waking up, we found ourselves to be with Yang Yang and Qichi, who coincidentally found us in the ground. Now that I think about it, I actually never heard the opening in Japanese. We also found out that we have forgotten about all of our memories, which is pretty convenient. And after a warning from the wind and a bit of yapping from me, I really hope we get alters in the game. I really want to see Qichi and Yang Yang in the game again, but also relevant. And also a 5-star. We started to head out of this place to meet Baiji. Is it me or the game looks better now than what it was when it first released? After walking and some yapping from me, we finally get to see the statue of Yue, the sentinel of Jinzhou, and also a small flashback. Yang Yang said it might be related to the magistrate, so let's keep that in mind for now. But then Qichi is under attack, so we need to save her. And now comes our first predicament to the challenge. The game is telling us to swap characters. No. The reason why I sound so scared is because, for those of you who don't know, Wuthering Waves' main mechanic is to use intro skill and outro skill. That can be triggered by changing character when the concerto gauge is full. Doing this will grant buff to the team and do a lot of damage to the enemy. Now, by only using Rover, we are not able to access this game mechanic and possibly locking ourselves to huge potential damage. Alright, back to the video. Thankfully though, in this fight, we can simply ignore the message, move on, and defeat the enemy without switching characters. She didn't protect me whatsoever. After that, I changed my weapon, level up, and continue on. I'm going to explain that. I'm going to take the Soren's caskets later when I unlock fight, so it's easier for me. And that is one of my strategies to make this challenge easier. Don't worry, there are going to be more strategies that I'm going to be using, and I will explain it as we're going along in the video. Then we continued along and finally took a look at where we are in Jinzhou. After talking a little bit about how this place is starting to become dangerous, we finally found Baiji, talked a little bit, and finally we are fighting against the first boss in the game. Thankfully though, the boss is scripted and it's going to be an easy fight. After the fight, Qichi is complaining about how they couldn't come to help and Yang Yang is glazing all over us. Alright, enough ladies. Alright, enough with the glazing. Anyway, we are now also being introduced to another gameplay mechanic, which is echoes. Echoes are a pretty important mechanic in the game. Not only can they increase your stats, you can also put them in your main slot and use their abilities. And we are going to use this ability a lot. Specifically in the early game, it is going to be a huge help since Rover still isn't able to do much damage. Although question marks echoes is here, we aren't still able to absorb it because the terminal is still level 0. It is level 0. So then we just leave it, but it turns out Rover can absorb the echoes herself without any tools to do it. I just realized Rover's eyes became tacit mark. So then, after enough glazing from the group and facing the longest sentence to ever exist in Wuthering Waves, holy shit, I never saw. I didn't know this before. Why is it so long? The group lore bombs us with the first resonator story, which is an old tale about the strongest resonator that absorbs echoes through their hands and also helping the world and the country to become prosperous. What if I'm that person? After we claim the title of Granny, the signal connection is back and Jinzhou the magistrate gave an announcement for every citizen. Here, she explains that the Moon Chasing Festival is near and Jinzhou is one of the first lines of defense against Tacit Discord's outbreaks. She also welcomes a visitor that she has waited for a long time. She said that the visitor maybe suffers from memory loss and should come to the city hall so she herself can give more information. She also requests that everybody in this region to assist this visitor if they are to meet this person. There's too many women in the game. Not that I complain about it though. After the group deduced that Rover was probably the visitor that Jinzhou was talking about, we decided to head to the city to continue on. Before that though, the group tests whether or not Rover can absorb echoes on their own, and it turns out she can't. But we are still able to absorb it through our terminal. And finally, the game gave me free reign, and I decided to beat some enemies as I went to the city. Anyway, while I farm the echoes, I'm also going to explain a couple of my strategies to make this challenge easier. The one thing that is going to be the biggest obstacle to do this challenge is to heal. While I could technically beat everything no damage, although I am not going to do that again. Instead, my original plan is to speedrun the game to Rinascita to unlock Rover Aero. Not only does it just deals more damage, but I can also heal every time I do aerial attacks. So that is one of my strategies to pursue this challenge. Another one is to max out the databank level as fast as possible so that I can get gold tier echoes early. But since getting gold tier echoes this early is almost impossible, I remember an exploit that veterans used to do in the old days. But enough talking, let's continue. After Rover and the gang have enough walking, it seems that we are being tailed by someone else. Prolova's appearance is here. And I see the scar or Prolova. Yep. Oh no, it's Camellia. But after it being a nothing burger, we have finally arrived at Jinzhou. Continuing on, the group decided to split up, and our best course of action is to head to the city hall.
Damn, this looks good.
But before that, I discovered that we have these next stops events.
Next up, Lahairoi. Wait, I can go to Lahairoi?
These events can propel us ahead of the story to other regions, and about my plan from before, speedrunning the game to Rinascita to unlock flight and Aero Rover can become so much faster because of this, so I kept this in mind as I moved on. After that, we are finally at the front door of the city hall, and because of the announcement, everybody is trying to impersonate the person that Qichi is looking for, but all of them are turned away by Sanhua, Qichi's bodyguard. The group theorizes that Qichi is not here because there are maybe some other more important matters. Like there is maybe a danger lurking within Jinzhou at the moment, which we will actually see later in the story. Rover also theorizes that Qichi is maybe attracting public attention on purpose, as in she is trying to also lure the danger in. And after talking some more,
Yeah, the loss of memory doesn't bother.
Rover is finally entering the city hall.
Why is she walking so damn slowly, bro?
Finally, we are meeting Sanhua face to face, and after sizing us up, we found out that it's actually true that Qichi is currently away and she won't be back for probably around 3 days. She's also given us some tokens or items for us as a puzzle to solve. And after a lot of questions with no real answers, it turns out she can only see frequency and that our frequency is the same as Jinchi's, undistorted and authentic. So that is why she concluded that we are the real deal. She also upgraded our terminal and gave us VIP access to everything in the region and also a free bedroom. Yes, the bedroom will come in matters important for later.
So now that tutorial is done, I think I'm going to go to Rinascita. That actually wasn't my plan. My plan was to speedrun through the game until Inverted Towers. But because we have now next stop, I think I'm going to go to Rinascita first and then go to Inverted Towers and then play the game.
And after that, the group lore dumps us with a lot of things about Jinzhou, and we start to talk about the items that Qichi has given us. And holy shit, I don't think it really matters that much to the story. Technically it is, but it's just a roundabout way to tell the story, so I'm just going to spare the details for you guys, because this tokens item stuff is really boring. We finally unlock the grapple, and we head straight towards our next destination, as Qichi leaves the group to do her job. Inside, we meet more Tefi, and asked where Baiji was. We then talked to Baiji, and we are talking about the tokens and items that Qichi has given us, and then I ramble a little bit about it.
I forgot that because right now wuwa has like straightforward story. What I mean straightforward is that it doesn't waste any time, so you just get to the point. Now when I play the old stories again, like it is just so run, and like it just wastes a lot of time for you.
Eventually, we gave the items to them to analyze, and then Rover is going through a medical checkup because there's maybe something inside her body. On the simulation, we fought the enemies, and I had an interesting question that got answered 30 seconds later.
What if I die here? I'm actually about to die. Wait. Thank God I did not just switch characters.
After beating up everyone, the system glitches and we meet something inside the simulation. It seems like nothing really happened, and Baiji theorized that it's all in her head. It's all in her head. And Baiji theorized that it's all in her head, and it doesn't really affect Rover in any way. So in the end, we finally head out. We also unlocked a bunch of stuff that we don't really need for the challenge, but I'm interested in pulling a new weapon for Rover.
Now for the weapons, I think the laser shearer is gonna be good for Rover. Never mind, it's energy regen. So the Emerald Genesis is gonna be good. Yep, it is. It's crit, right? And yeah.
And after I checked the events for helping new players, which are a lot, I found out that you can unlock flight early without going to Rinascita.
Am I able to unlock the flight module here? Or do I need to go to Rinascita? No, wait, I just unlocked flight? What? So I don't need to go to Rinascita to unlock flight, okay?
After that, I admired some art.
Damn, I actually never see this picture.
And I decided to jump to Rinascita to unlock Rover Aero before the enemy got harder. Because we are skipping the main story, the game shows us the summary of what we missed out on and propels us to after Shorekeeper's story. Before heading out to Rinascita, Shorekeeper told us to go to Black Shores because she has important information to help us possibly heal Abby. And who's Abby, you might ask? Don't worry about it. She then told us that Abby is weakening and she has a solution to heal her. Him? What gender is Abby even about? But before she gives us the solution, she recently found a message from our past selves and she thinks that we should take a look at it first.
She looks like she wears like a full bodysuit here, which I think looks good.
The message itself doesn't really explain anything. The most important thing here is that Rover said she erases her memory and her entries from almost everywhere. And then if Abby has woken up, we must seek out Imperator from Rinascita. Imperator is Rinascita's sentinel, so basically like Yue is to Jinzhou, like I told you from earlier. Shorekeeper proposes that Imperator might have the power to heal Abby, and she also told us that Rinascita is the line of echoes, which also might help because Abby is also an echo. We also got an invitation letter from one of the families of Rinascita, the Montellis. They invited us to come to Rinascita to celebrate the long-awaited return of a festival, the Carnival. They also have provided us with money that we can take later at the bank. And after talking some more, we decided to head out to Rinascita by teleporting. I mean by using a boat, because ramp prices are high and we don't have enough computing powers to teleport. After the talk is over, I realized something that can be utilized to reach Rover Aero even faster than my original plan.
Wait, I also have Havoc? I haven't even played this story. Okay then.
Here I don't realize it yet, but because Rover Havoc is unlocked without me even playing the story yet, we can technically jump to Lahairoi just to unlock Rover Aero, so we can immediately continue playing in Jinzhou using Aero powers. But again, I still haven't realized it yet, so for now, we shall continue. We then headed to the docks to meet Alto, who provided us with a boat, and after talking for a bit, we finally took off to the capital city of Rinascita, Ragusa. The person that has just saved us is Brandt, the captain of the ship. He said that big-ass Echo is Cetus the Tidebreaker. He said that Cetus is usually a kind creature, and something must have driven it mad.
Alright, what I kinda don't like about Rinascita's story is that we don't fight Cetus, and the resolution about Cetus the Tidebreaker is on an optional quest. It's on the Phoebe quest, on the fishing quest.
And after talking a bit more, they finally introduced themselves as the Troop of Fools.
I miss the echoes in Rinascita.
Oh, and yeah, the ship is also an echo. Brandt deduced that we headed to Rinascita because of the carnival, and he's willing to take us there. He's also said that if you are to be the Laurel of the carnival, we might be able to hear Imperator's voice.
Yanni.
After talking a bit more, the ship is under attack by evil echoes.
This is not even a ship. This is all. This big motherfucker is an echo. What about the enemy level? I'm scared. the enemy might be stronger than us. Never mind.
After quickly dispatching the enemies, we meet Rosia, who is inside the briefcase, and also Lario, the big echo, which is the ship. And then we finally arrived at the customs in Ragunna. It seems that this is as far as Brand can take us, and he advises us to take a small boat to reach mainland Ragunna.
Yeah, because he's banned from going to the town.
And for those of you who missed it, we can also see Carlotta walking here on the back. Although he doesn't say it here, there must be something on why he didn't want to come with us to mainland Ragunna. After that, we thanked him, and the troop of fools headed out to the sea once again.
Oh, did he say Bon Voyage, or am I tripping? You just missed the Mabby.
Continuing on up ahead, there seems to be some kind of church activity in the docks, and they are talking about some type of pilgrimage. It seems that the people who committed sins are branded as the fool. Now we know where they got the name from. These fools have to take on a pilgrimage to cleanse their souls. Finally, after being pushed into a corner, poor Andreas has to board the ship so his sins can be forgiven.
Oh, there's Cristoforo at the back.
Looking at this injustice, Rover is trying to take action, but stopped by someone who knows better.
遠方からのお客様、疑問に思うかもしれませんが、彼らの巡礼への手出しはやめてください。
Now that I think about it, like, why is it so weird that we're seeing Brand and Rosia and the troop of fools at the sea? I think it's because they knew that there's gonna be a new pilgrimage. They're just going out. So I think they are going to rescue them. And I think with Andreas here, we're going to meet them later, right? At the hidden basement? At the hidden base, I mean. And I forgot about this, or I didn't notice this for the first time I'm playing this game.
What I'm talking about here may not make sense right now, but we will see it later in the story. The man in red introduces himself as Cristoforo, a playwright who is visiting Ragunna. He said that he's working on a play about the pilgrims and he wanted to get some fresh ideas. Here, he yaps about the origin of Rinascita, but the most important info here is that he said that a devout believer braved the storm to find the sentinel, and that is how the origin of the pilgrim cells came to be. Then he also yaps again and again and again. Anyway, the most important thing that he said is that the pilgrim cells have been approved by Fenrico, the current primus, and that pilgrim cells contains fools that have broken Ragunna's laws. After about all that yapping, we finally rented a gondola and headed straight to the city.
愚者の劇団の花船を見てすごいって思ったけど、まさかラグーナの船が全て音階だなんて。町内には一体どんな音階がいるのかな。
Before we continue, I'm gonna cut the chase and just summarize everything, because this video has been going on for long enough and we are also heading straight to Lahairoi. After arriving, we meet a crazy devout believer and saved by Phoebe from his endless yapping. And then, she showed us around and told us the origin of Rinascita. And here, we also learned that she loves echoes. After that, she answered all of our questions and we took a gondola to the bank to receive the money we got from Carlotta. There, we also met Zani, who has been assigned by the Montellis to help us through our journey. We also learned that almost all of the echoes in Ragunna are owned by the Montellis. After that, we stopped to eat and we also experienced the infamous drama maker scene that you probably see a lot on Twitter.
I remember on this scene, everybody online went fucking crazy on this scene. Like 2.0 Ragunna or Rinascita update is one of the biggest updates for Wuthering Waves. And you can really see the shift in quality. And a lot of people are comparing it to Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail when this first came out. But I guess the quality shift is just so huge. It's been like used in so many arguments because of how good this is compared to like Genshin Impact. Especially when Star Rail collabed with the Fate series and everybody's just standing around the table and pretend eating with the black screen white text. And it's just so funny like how everybody is referencing this scene from the original 2.0. Everybody gets so mad about the Star Rail Fate collab because of that. Because people said that it is just so lazy about the collab. Like they just went super lazy about it. But I guess it doesn't matter because Star Rail Fate collab won collab of the year in Japan, so it is just so funny, bro. And everybody's making a reference if Wuthering Waves was made by Hoyo, bro, and then everything is just black screen, white text. It's just so funny.
Not long after, an echo goes wild and we receive a divine revelation from Imperator. We decided to help Zani to chase the wild echo, and our first clue is some type of flower. We also deducted that the Sentinel of Rinascita, the Imperator, is probably asking for our help through the revelation that we received earlier. We then searched for clues and we encountered a Mantelli and a Visalia arguing. Then we learned that the Visalia is probably behind all of this. And this is where, just like Rover, I also received a revelation.
Wait a minute. I don't think I need to do the story until Inverted Towers. Using the next top feature, I get Rover Havoc. So technically by going to Lahai Roy now, I'm able to unlock Rover Aero, right?
And here we are at Honami, getting a briefing from Shorekeeper before heading out to Lahai Roy. Shorekeeper said that the portal to Lahai Roy is already open, but we can do that later because we are going to drink a coffee she just made for us. Truly the canon wife. She mentions that the catastrophe there is a void storm, and Lahai Roy has no sentinel to guide humanity, unlike Jinzhou and Rinascita, but they still have a Trinodian wreaking havoc over there. We also learned that Rover is a former student, so our entry to Lahai Roy is going to be much easier. After that, unlimited potential arrived and we are heading straight to the portal.
Posters waiting home in their sleep. Softly how we left to say go on. Through the window, blue tinted dawn, shadows intertwine. Figure a light, a country feeling, forming a move on spoke story. Everything with memories and promises we keep in. Put on a smile, get a fresh bouquet. Step into the deep dance patience. It's the finish, new beginning. Follow the flaming side. Draw down the blueprint, a wish for utopia. Picture the visions coming with a smile. The sunlight, how big emotions in this house. Farewell, and then it's the bright stars from the moment. When we start to shine, love far through the lens. Chase a meaning of it all, we must be proud. 楽勝じゃん。
And after all that, we finally can actually play the game normally again. Continuing on, I headed back to Jinzhou, do a Gulpa phrase, write my bio, and continue the story. After all of that Aero Rover tangent, I completely forgot about the damn puzzle thing from before.
Yeah. You won't find this type of puzzle in the new Wuthering Waves.
After a bunch of talking, and I mean literally a lot of talking, it finally became nighttime and the group is talking about where Rover is staying through the night. And since Yang Yang is offering her place, it would be a shame not to take it.
Bro, Qichi just cock-block us. What are they doing in the city?
In the morning, the group decided to head to Norfall Barrens, but sadly, Qichi couldn't come with us because she has a job. Here though, I have other plans before we progress further in the story. I went ahead to unlock and explore the map as I head to the Twin Herons.
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, you just need to bait these two echoes to that waterfall.
And I actually thought that this was going to be easy because I've done it in the past.
Sometimes I feel I'm completely on my own. No places to go, no faces to see. Why is it I feel all alone? Tell me when will you come back in my life? My heart is so cold. I need you to hold me through the night so I can relive the dream again.
It turns out I was wrong, and this little maneuver has already cost me 30 minutes of my damn life. But not all hope is lost, because after all that hardship, we at least got one echo, even though the main stat is pretty much useless. Finally though, we move on to the story again. We met Janshin, who was stopped by the city guards, and we helped her pass the guards by showing our VIP card. It turns out she was going out to look for someone, so we headed out together because our destination is in the same direction. Along the way, I fought some echoes, explored a bit, and also died horrendously. Anyway, we then searched for clues and beat some civilians who clearly needed our help. After that, we continued our journey and finally arrived at the quote-unquote battlefield, where we help wounded soldiers. Here, we also learn about their general, Jian, who is helping the soldiers fighting on the front lines. We then talked about something again. I don't know, I swear to God, early WoW story has so much talking. It turns out, the person Janshin is looking for has joined the army, and after a while, Janshin has decided to go her separate ways, and then suddenly, Abby woke up, and I technically failed the challenge. As I have said in the beginning, the point of the challenge is to have fun, so as per the spirit of this challenge, the challenge is still up. I mean, if we're switching to another character counts as failing, then I've already failed it when I went to Lahairoi for the first time. But as a wise man said, it doesn't count because it forced me to switch characters. Anyway, we then headed to Qichi village, because that's where Rover is saying we should be headed. Over there, we clear a tacit field, search for clues, and there's also a talking tacit discord. It turns out it became like this because it devoured a little girl, and Yang Yang said this tacit discord is crying for the village. She also said something awful must have happened in the village before its destruction. Looking around, we also found wooden plaques that are commonly used for rituals, and Yang Yang has heard from somewhere that in some villages, the villagers are doing some ancient rituals. We then found another clue of what seems to be a Fractidus member. The Fractidus is an extremist group that focuses on fusing humans with tacit discords, and they are usually doing some naughty things around the globe. One of the higher ranked titles of the group is called an Overseer, and one of them is usually on par with everyone from the JJK universe, except for Gojo, of course. And we found out that this remnant is from Scar, one of the Overseers. We then searched for more clues, but then Yang Yang got kidnapped, and we are stuck with this clown for now. So it seems that the Fractidus knows that Rover has lost her memories, and Scar said that Rover is the person that everybody is looking for apparently. It looks like Scar is being friendly with us, and it seems that he is trying to recruit us to the Fractidus. We then learn that the destruction of the village was caused by the ritual that drove the villagers to murder each other. After that, the game wants us to choose whether to play along or confront Scar directly. Now, for everyone that is new to the game, if you choose to confront Scar, you can skip all of this investigation and head straight to the fight. But because everybody in 2023 seems to be choosing to directly fight him, I decided to play along and listen to the story that he offered. So basically, what happened is, Qichi village has quote-unquote shepherd, and this shepherd is somebody that is powerful enough to grant powers or anything that the villagers wanted, but with a cost. Each wish requires a human sacrifice, and so the villagers became greedy because the sacrifice is always going to someone else. Until one day, a little girl spoke up against the shepherd. Because of this, a lot of the villagers became aware of its atrocities and also spoke up against the shepherd. The shepherd, being an asshole, stops granting wishes to the village and blames the little girl. Suddenly, because the villagers had stopped having their wishes granted, they turned on the little girl for speaking up and killed her. After that, Scar said things that broke the fourth wall, and then he finally went mad and started to pull a domain expansion on our ass. Inside, we proceed to kill everything that stands in our way, and we finally fight humanoid Scar. As expected, Aero Rover is too damn strong, and we beat the first Scar fight far too easily. We woke up with another lap pillow from Yang Yang, and then Prolova was mad about something, and Scar was saying some stuff that even I with the current 3.4 knowledge don't even know what he was talking about. Then they teleported away, and we told Yang Yang everything that is happening while she was away. She didn't believe any of the shit that Scar had just said, and to make sure of what Scar said is true, we need to head to the next location. Before that though, I spent the next hour exploring the map and fighting all types of echoes to increase the databank level. So basically a killing spree. Today is not a good day for all the echoes I've sacrificed, but it is a good day for my databank level. Continuing on from where the story left off, we then found the missing half of the wooden plaque from the Qichi village, and then put them together and put it on the stone. Because of that, a puddle disappears, and we can head under the ground. Yang Yang talks a bit to the small tacet discord, and then it points us to the next clue, and it seems to be a diary. So what actually happened in the village was, the little girl has the power to manipulate the frequencies of tacet discords and humans. Then, her sister, or maybe friend, Sissy, is dead, and the little girl turned her into a tacet discord. Her father already knew about her powers, is exploiting her and turning other villagers into tacet discords, and that's why more and more villagers are missing. Until one day, all the villagers gather outside her house and are conducting a revenge on them. We then talked to Yang Yang for a bit and left the hall. Yang Yang then questions about everything that we just learned, and she hopes to become much more stronger to help more people. After that, we then go back to the city to meet up with Qichi and share the information about everything that we just learned. It seems that the group disagrees of what the Fractides is doing, and the aftermath of Qichi village is a good ending for the villagers. But the little girl is nowhere to be found, and the group deduced that Scar probably kidnapped the little girl. After that, the group talked a bit more, and the puzzle token thing is finally completed. And the next clue is towards the Grand Library inside the City Hall. Inside, we interact with the vase, and an entrance just opened. We then head inside and do more puzzles and more killing until the bridge heading to the database is open. And then finally, we have completed the intro to Wuthering Waves.
道案内感謝するぞ、漂白者。いいところだな。ここには全てがある。ああ、この全てを隅から隅に、何もかも木っ端みじんにしてやりたい。俺がここにいることに何の疑問も抱いていないようだな、漂白者。それはなぜか。罠か。 まさかこの程度で俺を捕まえられるなんて思ったのか。
もう逃がさない。
お前らの遊びに付き合ってやりたいところではあるが、その楽しみは次に取っておくとしよう。
待て、逃げるな。
So Scar just pulled a second domain expansion on our ass, and then he did the stupid backflip thing again. Anyway, this fight is actually pretty hard for beginners, but because I'm not a beginner, it's pretty easy for me, and also because Rover Welcome Down Arrow is just too damn strong. After defeating Satan, his domain expansion failed, and we went back to the real world. It seems that Rover already knew about Scar invading ahead of time and joined hands with Sanhua and Jinzhou the magistrate. Scar then invited us again to join him, but there's no option to say yes. And after that, we told Scar about the meeting with Jinzhou, which I didn't even know about. It seems that the compass from before is also telling us to meet Jinzhou before we went to the Grand Library. Over there's a floating terminal, and we met Jinzhou for the first time under the moonlight. And for some reason, she is so bright. It seems that she had an emergency, and that's why we couldn't meet for the first time. And then I also had an emergency. It seems that it's because the Sentinel of Jinzhou is missing. This problem is massive because Sentinels are the one that guides and guards a civilization, and if there are any other huge problem that arise, it can be the end of that civilization. It turns out Jinzhou's Sentinel, Yue, is being held captive by the Fractidus and is in danger. The Fractidus is also planning to cause another lament, which is a disaster, and the Overseer that is in Jinzhou, Scar, is also planning to recruit us, abduct Yue, and resurrect the Trinodian. And then Jinzhou proposes a plan to capture Scar and asks Rover if she wants in on it. Jinzhou told us that the Trinodian of Jinzhou is reawakening and explains to us that Trinodian is like a sentinel but on the Tacit Discord side, and the Fractidus is accelerating its awakening. Jinzhou also said that this has something to do with Rover because she can absorb Crownless, which is made from the Trinodian. And coincidentally, that there's also a hero who has the same power back on the day of Jinzhou's founding when the war with the Trinodian happened. And based on the prophecies, she believed that Rover is, or maybe even related to that person. After that, Rover talked about the statue of Yue she found in the beginning, and it is confirmed that it was a memory from the old days. We truly are a granny. Rover said it doesn't make sense that someone has lived that long, and Jinzhou agreed and had no idea how it could have happened. Jinzhou said that Rover has no obligation to help them and thanked Rover from all the help Jinzhou has received from a couple of days ago or maybe even long ago from the past. And in the end, it's Rover's choice whether to help Jinzhou or not on saving Jinzhou from the upcoming disaster. And once everything is done, she is eager to help Rover in any way she can. Back to the present, Scar is now under arrest for committing unspeakable things in Huanglong. Before he is taken away, we've been granted to ask a couple of questions to him. First is the reason why they kidnap Yue is because Yue can predict the future. The second is they want to revive the Trinodian because they want to use their powers. The third is Lament is a disaster caused by a Trinodian. And the fourth is the Fractidus wants to recruit Rover to join their gang and that their goal is the same as Rover's. After that, Jinzhou sentenced Scar to all the crimes that have ever existed, and Scar mentioned that he is not the only overseer in Jinzhou. Scar also whispered some secrets about the current UA situation, and finally he invited us again to join the Fractidus, and then he went crazy. Finally, Scar is put to jail, and Jinzhou is not going to tell Rover what Scar has told her back there. Jinzhou said that the prophecies is telling us to head to Norfall Barrens and seek General Jian. She also said that maybe we can learn more about the past Rover from the Black Shores, which is a secretive organization that is helping all civilization on combating the lament, and it seems that they have reached out to Jinzhou when Rover first awakened. Their signature piece is a Blake Bloom, and members of the organization have it on their person. The Black Shores is always helping other civilization, and this time they have informed us that the Trinodian on Jinzhou is about to resurrect. After that, Jinzhou advises us to look more into the Black Shores, but just then, Rover remembered that she wore a black bloom on the memory she had with Yue. Jinzhou suggests that we keep an eye out for the Black Shores member, and finally, after all that talking, we left the city hall. It seems that Jinzhou is going on a leave with Chang Li, and she left all matters to Sanhua instead. After that, Jinzhou talked to Chang Li about everything that just happened at the city hall, and the game is also self-aware about the token puzzle thing from before. Apparently, Scar whispered that there's also another prophecy that Jinzhou and Yue will fight later, and this prophecy doesn't surprise Jinzhou whatsoever. Jinzhou sensed that Yue is in Mount Firmament and she plans to head there and rescue Yue. After that, they talked more about the duty of being the magistrate, and Changli said that she will help Jinzhou on Mount Firmament. And finally, that marks the end of this video. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. It really took me a long time to edit this, and I wanted this video to come out around April, but then college became busy, and the more I edit it, the bigger this video becomes. So once again, thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys wanted to, then please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I also have other videos about Wuthering Waves, and you can check it out if you want to. And anyway, see ya.